In my various meetings with the mainland experts, this issue of elderly was often raised. This is understandable because of the large number of deaths in the fifth wave of this epidemic. And over 90% of them are old people. And over half of them were old people living in residential care homes. So it is only right for the mainland experts to share more experiences and advice with us. And it is now very obvious and very clear that the one single reason for the high mortality of elderly people in Hong Kong is the low vaccination rate. Because all the facts and statistics locally and worldwide have shown that the COVID-19 vaccine is very effective in preventing critical illness and avoiding deaths. I'm afraid that there could be no looking back. Or what we said, you can say a lot of things with the benefit of hindsight. But if you look at all the press releases, media conferences, appeals and messages and APIs and publicity that the Hong Kong SAR government has done since late February last year when we started the government vaccination program. The focus was always on the elderly. We actually started with the elderly before allowing the younger adults to get the jab. Because everywhere in the world, they started with the elderly because they have already gone through that very painful process of seeing elderly people admitted into hospital, rushing into ICUs, putting on ventilation, and then dying. We have seen it, and we have appealed to the people. So we can only say it is unfortunate for the whole of Hong Kong to miss what we now call the golden opportunity to get the old people vaccinated in time to prevent this tragic incident. And that's why I was very aggrieved and actually very angry when, as recently as a few days ago, a local newspaper was still presenting headlines which were misleading, which will immediately give the old people, their relatives, and the whole community the wrong message of getting Sinovac as to be vaccinated. Yeah. So we all have a responsibility. I'm not shedding my responsibility as a chief executive. I'm shouldering primary responsibility for the fight against the epidemic. But everyone should also bear in mind that Hong Kong is a very free society, a very diverse society, and there are a lot of forces at work to prevent the government from doing what should have been done. In this case, vaccinating our old people. But we will continue to do it. We have set very clear targets to achieve. We are visiting all the elderly homes again for a second and a third time in the coming month in order to get those who have received the first dose to get the second dose, and those who were infected, about 40%, who could not get a jab, then through the second and the third visit, maybe they are then ready to take the vaccination. And I just heard that there are suggestions that we should give old people a choice of doing the BioNTech vaccine, and I have just asked the Secretary for Civil Service to give this the full consideration in order to induce or attract more old people and their family members to allow us to get them vaccinated as soon as possible.